Okay, so we're just gonna roll here, no edits. All right, we're not gonna have any edits unless it's convenient to just restart a segment, but I have to move along today. I want to cover this subject matter. So remember, the string shaped fifth of the E is C, so on top of the E here, you'll see the C. The string shaped fifth of the E is C. The string shaped fourth of the C is E. So we know the fourth of C is F, but we're going to go to the E string shape. We know the fifth of E is B, but we're going to go to the C string shape. It's not unlike the relationship between the G string and the B string, because if you look at it, the diminished fourth of the B string, you could look at it as is B of the G string rather is B. So B is the diminished fourth of the G string, and then if you go from that B string to the G string, it's an augmented fifth if you're looking at if you do the octave of that G. So from this B to this octave G is a augmented fifth. Here's your regular fifth, and here's your augmented fifth. Okay, so it's not unlike that relationship, but it's not necessarily because of that tuning difference that occurs. It's probably because of the major scale. I haven't nailed that down 100%. Some things I just accept, but I know that with the violin we still have the same situation, but there's no tuning difference. Violin is all in regular um, fifths. So we'll be talking about that this year, hopefully, when I get my cello, because the cellos are bigger. They're like 4 feet long, and the violin's just too small for me. It's too much for me, and my grandchildren are still a little too young to get that violin I bought. So I'm looking forward to that, getting that out of the way, getting a cello so I can actually get the string shapes going on the cello. It's in fifths too. But I got in trouble for saying a cello works the same way as a violin by a concert violinist. But I'll tell you, between you and I, here I have a chart I made earlier this year, chart 196, guitar, cello, and fiddle notes, all root C. And as you can see with the cello and the violin here, the fiddle, we have the double string shapes here. So these are in fifths now. So the fifth of A is D. So it's just like a double string shape, 5, 6, 7 root, and then going over here to 2, 3, 4, 5, except not like the guitar. Okay, we don't have a guitar ladder. The guitar ladder has note doubling when you do double string shapes. So I just implemented the double string shapes in this system, and you can see it's the same thing. If you look over here at 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fiddle starts on the fifth there, which in the key of C would be G, so it would be G, D. This is the A string shape, it'd be G, D, A, and E, whereas the cello, as far as I found, it goes E, A, D, G. Okay? Whatever. Let me make sure that's correct. It goes E, A, and then the second of E. Geez, this might be in the key of C. That would be D, and that would be G. I'm not saying that I've got the cello notes right, but I'm saying we've got the same system here, root 5, 2, 6. And my friend, boy, she said, no, the violin is nothing like the cello, nothing like it. So I had to really kind of, wonder why. It's the same. I see it as the same, but when I buy my cello, we'll get to that. So double string shapes there. Now back to what we were saying. So it could be just because I've divided the scales into the string shapes, right? Where's our string shapes? Right here we have them. We do have the famous string shapes right here. Okay, so we've got D is 2, 3, 4, A is just 5, 6, and E is 7 root 2. It's nice to play the string shapes in the D shape. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. Okay, then we go into an S2C here. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Warp up for that 6, 7 root G string shape, and then back up to the D string shape on top. Okay, now with the long patterns, we do something different, and we can look at up here where we have the same thing going on here. So with the long patterns and the D pattern, we would start on that D string shape. So if we were going to start here, it'd be, have I got the cursor on the D? Yeah. 2, 3, 4. But then we're going to go into long patterns. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we just did that. We're back down here. Then we're going to do 7 root 2 from that 4, 5, 6. But 7 root 2 warps over 1 fret. So you notice this and this? These are not lined up anymore. Here's your perfect fourth. Okay, if I take this note and go from here, see this note, go from here. Here they're on top of each other in P4 tuning. Notice I'm playing the same like sound, volume or something. Now they sound the same. Okay, so that's it. We got this 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5 back up to the C there. So that's how that works. So just concluding with the cello fiddle discussion, it may be the string shaped system that I've implemented on the cello and the guitar and the fiddle board, fretboard, that doesn't have frets, so you don't call it a fretboard. But that makes it easy to put the note labels on. So I'll show you right here for a second. Let's see if we can go to full screen here. Here's the little fiddle that I got the note things on. And yeah, it lines up, although it's way out of tune. I actually lined up these using the physics formula, the distances, and then kind of like after I had proved that I could do it with the physics formula and whatnot, I found like a template for it, and I just used the template. And then I had to actually adjust it, so I had to take my labels off and put them on. And you can do that with vinyl labels if you do it right away, to line it up where those notes are. Alright, so again, the violin turned out to be quite a dainty little instrument, and that's why I can't wait to get a full-size cello 4-footer, but it's just going to be less than $200, so don't worry about, putting notes on a guitar or a piano, guitar or a fiddle or something that's any more than $200. I would say, because you're pretty much going to be setting the instrument, as an experimental object, like in a lab or something. You can't play it. I wouldn't do it to a expensive guitar, or unless perhaps you have a professional labeler, so they have those guitars that have the nice labels on them, the birds flying. Have somebody do it professionally. That I never got a chance to do. I tried, but so I just made my own, so I got my notes right here, and this is really just generic, and I put the dots all over it, so, but really this is my guitar. And when I want to clean it up, I just get some Goo Gone, and I get a nice soft screwdriver, an old screwdriver with nice rounded edges, and I just kind of ease those labels off with the Goo Gone, clean it up.